WBC Super Middleweight Champion, Sakio Bika. We now go to screens.
Oh.
Say no more. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Sakio Bika certainly is not a soft option. Bika is a former WBC champion. He's faced some of the greatest boxers in recent years, giving them the hardest fights of their lives. So Ben versus Bika is going to be an exciting
Nigel Benn might get killed.
50-50 fight. Who knows who will win? Who would you put?
I don't know if Sakio Bika has fought since that Adonis Stevenson fight, but just that he fought Adonis Stevenson should tell you that Nigel Benn shouldn't fight Sakio Bika at 55 after more than 20 years of retirement. This is ridiculous. And he wasn't looking good in those last fights before retiring. Even like going against Chris Eubank for the second time. Even then you could say that's not prime Nigel Benn. Anyway, this is craziness, man. I'm not saying a dude shouldn't fight if he wants to fight. You know what I mean? There are anomalies. Bernard Hopkins, Archie Moore, George Foreman. But this is a long retirement, and I mean Henry Maske actually did it. German world champion. He was actually undefeated and he lost to Virgil Hill in his last fight, and I believe he came back like 10 years later or something. He retired after that fight. He came back 10 years later and had a rematch against Hill and beat him. Yeah, but yeah, George Foreman had a 10-year retirement, I believe. Had a 10-year career after that, you know what I mean? Or more than 10 years, I don't know. Anyway, this is craziness, man. Over 20 years out of the ring. Going against Sakio Bika, and Sakio Bika is a rough customer. Joe Calzaghe can tell you about that, or Andre Ward, even that Adonis Stevenson fight, man. That's the last time I've seen him fight, and he was moving up in weight for that fight, fighting probably the heaviest puncher, I don't know, in the last 5 years, something like that, along with Deontay Wilder. He got dropped once and went the distance against Adonis, so like Adonis actually looked pretty decent in that fight, and Sakio Bika took his licking and went the distance. Gave Anthony Durrell a hard fight. He's an awkward fighter, Sakio Bika. He's more rough than really, especially at this stage in his career, like at top level, at world level. He's probably not gonna win, but he's gonna make it ugly. You're probably gonna get cut. That's actually how I found out about Andre Ward being like having that dog in him, you know what I mean? When he hit Sakio Bika with that elbow, retaliated actually for like rough and rugged tactics by Bika, but that was a blatant elbow by Andre Ward, man. Snuck that shit in there. Nigel Benn himself, you know what I mean, in his prime, you know, he's a puncher, pretty much. Offensive, like aggressor, he's a puncher though, you know? So I don't know if he's really known for his defense. I don't think so. I don't think he was ever known for his chin. You know what I mean? This might end ugly. I don't know, man. Sakio Bika can crack a little bit. Gotta hit you right, I guess, you know. But he can make it really rough, and on a 55-year-old, it's gonna be probably a longer fight, you know. I don't know how many rounds they're fighting, but it's a bad idea to get Sakio Bika. Like, Sakio Bika is probably in Nigel's mind, like Sakio Bika, he competed not too long ago at world stage, you know, at world level. So if he beats the guy, or even, I don't know, if he has a decent performance, you know, there's some credit to be had, or some pride to be taken, you know, even if it's not for credit, maybe he's doing it for pride, for himself, right? It's one-off, so I don't know, Sakio Bika, right? Yeah. But he himself, like Sakio Bika, isn't the fighter that he once was, and I don't know, even then, like, he's more, I don't know if he's necessarily like if there's like a puncher's risk there, you know what I mean? That you're gonna get sparked, but he's rough and rugged enough, you know, to sneak something dirty in there, get you hurt and finish you off, you know. He's pretty ruthless actually, Sakio Bika. Like prime for prime, that would be a hard fight for Nigel Benn, I'm thinking. Sakio Bika is a hard fight for anybody, man. Remember Sakio Bika on The Contender? Sakio's wife.
Basically, the test that
you know?
we've done on Nigel Benn today
Yeah, man. But like I said, man, even before retiring, like Nigel Benn looked, I don't know. Like, for example, Chris Eubank Sr., I believe he retired, like having a half competitive fight against Joe Calzaghe, actually dropping Calzaghe. Or was he dropped? Something like that. I don't know. Like these fights at cruiserweight and shit. I believe Nigel Benn looked like pretty shot twice against Steve Collins. Anyway. But then again, Nigel Benn has found God, right? Maybe that's gonna be the difference. The difference maker.
No issue at all with his ability.
I wanna hear Nigel talk, man.
His opportunities on this.
Hear what do you gotta say?
Nigel Benn.
Thank you.
Greatest British boxers.
Time coming. One thing is, I'd like to thank to have both of my sons, Connor and Harley, here. Yeah, it's been a journey that I've been on. This fight is all about me. It wasn't financial, it wasn't nothing. It was always about closure that I wanted, that I never had. And I'm really going to go back in time. I suffered with a lot of issues in my life from a young age, from 1972, when my brother died. I had a lot of issues that I was struggling with. The murder of my brother, which I carried through to my adult life. At the age of 8, started smoking cigarettes. To 41, started doing ecstasy, smoking spliff, all through my career, but suffered with depression. There's not one fight that I went through that I never suffered with. It was bugging me. I don't even think I was at my best. I don't know how I got that far. To be inducted in the Hall of Fame, voted the best looking weight in history, along with Joe Kawasaki by the WBC. And I thought to myself, wow, I didn't know how I done it. Some of the fights, I thought, well, how did I get through that? And now,
Yeah, super middleweight is also a pretty,
my life has changed because even when
like
I
a recent division.
time, I just
So
stopped.
that makes sense. So he probably is one of the greatest of all time. He was
One son
weightless.
born, then another son born, 2 different parents. And I struggled with that. My wife was
Wah.
and I'm preparing for a world title fight. I'm not focused. I'm not even in the right frame of mind.
And Michael Watson put the work on him in that fight. Oh, that was a pretty display. Like this guy Michael Watson, man.
There was no joy because there was always something attached.
Like he was beating the brakes of Chris Eubank. That fight that he got hurt. Like Chris Eubank, he not only has a chin, man, he has a punch. You know, all the attributes really to be a great fighter. Got knocked down and leaped in with a fucking, and that was exhaustion knockdown almost. You know, like I can't take this shit anymore. Like he got knocked down by Watson, went down to one knee, got up, and leaped into a Hadouken uppercut, man. And I think that shit probably hurt Watson. That punch is probably the life-changing punch in that fight, you know? I don't know. Just my guess.
I never stopped training. And then I started doing a lot of
I believe he actually came back out for, like, I believe the bell saved him and he came out for another round. Watson, that's actually the crazy thing. You could see that he, like, his motor skills were affected. Getting up from that knockdown, you know?
Now I'm gonna fight.
It's probably that exhaustion as well as accumulation over years of boxing. And then also you getting hit when you're exhausted,
I'm more fitter now than when I was
dehydrated, you know what I mean?
It's not the Derby strike because everything synonymous with that name. It's not who I
Shit
am.
will happen.
Now it's Nigel Benjamin Button Ben. The older I get, the fitter I am, but I 100% mean that. I am so fit. I can tell you this now. Just before I left on Friday.
Listen, man, I wish him well, you know what I mean? I don't want to see a guy get hurt. especially a legend.
That was easy. Flew in Monday morning,
But
picked me up. He said to the press, the documentary team, I bet any money
he's gonna do what he's gonna do. I'll be watching.
5:30.
Yeah, like I said, man, I would have liked to see like Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn fight, you know?
One session,
Get the trilogy on.
went home, relaxed.
Ben probably won the second fight, so
Been training. It hasn't stopped.
two dudes that haven't fought for a long time, you know, same age, rivals. That's pretty much perfect, you know.
And I know this fight
I hear Nigel Benn talking about closure, but
picked an easy opponent, but that's not who I am.
Sakio Bika, man, that's almost making up for the excitement that you would like to have getting up for a big rivalry fight, you know what I mean?
Worry about him, not me.
Now he's going for real danger, just to make up for like, I don't know, lack of motivation.
Please get that.
Crazy.
The age, nothing to do with age, just a number. I'm telling you that right now. I'm more fitter now than I ever have. I'm doing harder training than I ever have. So I just know me, so I'm in good shape and I'm ready to rock and roll. Nothing ain't changed. The power's still there. Watch me on the pads. Watch
The
me.
thing that will
Shot, I don't know.
help him, I think, is that he's actually an aggressive fighter. If he was a boxer reliant on reflexes, man, oh, that shit would be ugly. Then again, Henry Muskie was a skillful guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Nigel Benn, let's have a round of applause, please.
Anyway, good luck, I say.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Peace
we're
out.
open the floor now for questions.